Hello everyone, Jessica here and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I will be using some pattern paper, which I don't use as much as I should. First, I'm going to start stamping my pattern on a A2 card panel of Neenah Desert Storm 100-pound cardstock. I'm using one of the flower images from the Simon Says Stamp Mandy's Flower August card kit. I chose the MFT Extreme Black Ink because I haven't used it in a while, and it is a nice dark ink. I'm making a random pattern with this flower stamp using my stamp platform. You could use a acrylic block or any stamp positioning tool you have. This is just the one I prefer. Now, to be honest, this is my second time stamping this background. I did mess up the first one and there was no way to save that one. I always try to save a mess up, see if I can't make it work, but that one could not be saved. I'm arranging these in a way so that the pots of the flowers will be the focus because that is where the pattern paper will be utilized. I'm using just a microfiber cloth to clean off my stamp in between stamping. I normally use my chamois, but this is a bit easier when doing so much repetitive work. When I'm done, I use a stamp cleaner to really clean off all that ink that builds up before I put the whole stamp set away. This Bow Bunny Early Bird pattern papers came in the Simon Says card kit. I do have all the links below if you want to shop the individual pieces of this kit and any other products I use for this card. There are also picture links and more info on my blog. I chose 6 different patterns and stamped the same floral image one time on each pattern paper, so I have a total of 6 of those. I think my favorite is the Deco pattern pink paper. The pattern just fits really well on that stamp image. I also like the one that has the dark blue background with the medallions. That one also works really well. They all have a very nice scaled down pattern design, so they do work well for the smaller projects. That's a good thing about 6x6 pattern paper. Sometimes the 12x12 can be just a little too big for like an A2 size card. Then of course I fussy cut all 6 of those out. It's a very easy image to trim since it's just the container I wanted, and I'm not going to cut out the leaves or the flower. I used my spring scissors from Fiskars. They are kind of hard to get used to, but so far I've been really enjoying them. I also used a Memento Tuxedo black marker to color the edges of each die cut. That way you won't be able to see the white core on the sides. I'm using one of the small sentiments in the set, which this Mandy's Flower stamp set has quite a few to choose from. I picked the one that says "From my heart to yours." I'm using Versamark on Simon Says Stamp Black Cardstock, and then I heat emboss it with Ranger white embossing powder. I let my heat gun heat up for a few minutes while I do the stamping. It really does make a difference when I do that, I've noticed, especially on smaller heat embossed areas. That way you don't warp the paper as much. For the other part of the sentiment, I'm die cutting the Simon Says Stamp Hugs Die. I do use this one a lot. I did cut this twice using Neenah Solar White cardstock, and then once with the script pattern paper that came with the Bow Bunny pattern papers. I didn't end up using that script pattern paper die cut, so I'll save that and put it aside to use on something else. If you have been enjoying my content here, leave me a comment, like this video, or share it with a friend. Any interaction from you guys helps out so much with smaller channels, and I love interacting with all of you. Met a lot of fun and wonderful people in this community, and I'm honest when I say that I do appreciate you. I'm using a few Prismacolor Premier pencils to color in the flower and the leaves. I'm using my little tiny white Prismacolor pencil that I have to use a pencil extender on because it's so small, and it is basically gone after using it on this. Luckily I have another one. For the leaves, I use 2 shades of green in Chartreuse and Spring Green. The lighter color I concentrate in the center of the leaves and then blend out with the darker green. I also add some pink to the flower with a light pink pencil in the color Blush Pink. Nothing too extravagant, just a little shading here and there with that pink. Now that I have all my pieces done, I'm going to assemble this card. I run the pots through my little Xyron sticker maker. This has some strong adhesive and makes paper piecing really quick. After running it through the sticker maker, I rub over the adhesive before taking the clear plastic off, then use my tweezers to stick the pattern paper pieces over the stamp images on the craft cardstock. Going back to the hug die cut, I glue the 2 white cardstock ones together with the multimedia matte glue and adhere that to the upper left corner. Then I coat that die cut in glitter with a Spectrum Noir clear glitter pen and top that off with Glossy Accents. And since the Glossy Accents is a glue and I'm very impatient, I just set the smaller strip sentiment after I have trimmed it down over the top of the Hugs Die and press down gently. It will hold that sentiment nicely and I didn't have to use foam to pop it up. Now this stuff is called Liquid Pearls in white opal. It's kind of like a Nuva drop consistency, but this one has a really pretty shine to it, very opalescent. I'm going to layer that over the strips on the stamp images. It coats the pattern paper very well, and I use my tweezers to scrape up any liquid pearls that go over the lines. It's a little messy, but I'm okay with that. These bottles don't have a very precise tip, though I probably could have used a paintbrush. I guess I'll try that a different time. I did wait for the liquid pearls to dry before adding the final touch on the front. I'm using the Doodlebug shape sprinkles. These tiny little hearts came with the August Simon kit also, and the colors are fantastic. I used one of each color and scattered them around the card panel. You get a lot of hearts in this little pack, so this will last me quite a while. Now I can add adhesive to the back of the card panel and attach it to a Neenah Solar White card base. I really like the sentiment and the colors against the craft cardstock with this one, and that's it from me. Stay tuned for a few pictures. I hope you enjoyed today's video. You can connect with me on Instagram or email me directly or comment below with any questions you might have about card making. All the products I used today are linked on my blog. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to see the latest videos from me. I appreciate you and I will see you in the next one. Bye! Meh, meh.